What is going on, all you Pokemon collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the Pika Pika Papa, and it's that time of the week where we're going to be looking at the list of cards that TCGPlayer sends straight to us, and they call it their movers and shakers list. But really what it is it's the cards that TCGPlayer.com has identified as moving with a certain degree of velocity on their website. Now, the prices can be up, the prices can be down, but all that matters is it is important enough to them that we are paying attention to it, that they aggregate these cards and they send it out to us. And we've been doing this video series for a very long time. And what I find most valuable in it is a 1-week snapshot. So that shows you the here and now, what is moving with the most velocity on their website. And when you think about it, TCGPlayer outside of eBay is probably the biggest website in terms of buying and selling velocity. So it is a great indicator of what's happening at the macro level of the hobby. Now, the other thing I think is really cool about this video is it helps us identify trends in areas of the hobby that are hot. And when we see similar patterns or similar types of cards repeat themselves week after week, again, what I do is I try and take learnings from that, because if it happens now, the odds are it's going to happen again in the future. So I'm trying to identify the different unique things about these cards that are making them either increase in value or in the same time making them decrease in value, because I want to avoid those in the future. And I think this video series does a great job of doing it, and it's why I love it so much. So I thought this week it would be really cool to start off with a rear view mirror look. So we're going to be looking at the couple cards from the movers and shakers list from exactly 1 month ago. And as you can tell from the image on the screen, they highly were focusing on the Destined Rivals pre-release stamped promo cards. And these are the exact cards, and these are the exact prices from 1 month ago when we did that original series. And what we talked about on this one was it's kind of like, I don't know, the holy trinity, if you will, of things here that make Pokemon cards special. You have some big name Pokemon up there. Obviously, you got Mimikyu, Typhlosion, you got Tyranitar, right? There's also a Misty Gyarados card, which we didn't feature, but again, another really big name Pokemon. And then it's coming from a huge set. Destined Rivals, as far as I'm concerned, is going to be the biggest regular series set from the Scarlet and Violet era. So check 2 of those boxes. And then the third thing is it's got a stamp on it. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, us Pokemon collectors out there, we love a card with a good stamp on it. So you got a big name character coming from a big set, and you got a stamp on it. And this is the early price results right here. All 3 of them were absolutely crushing the game. And remember, these are 1 month price charts. So we're talking about only 2 to 3 weeks worth of price movement here. And then the Mimikyu's up 74%, the Tyranitar was up 377%, and the Ethan's Typhlosion didn't see the same amount of growth as the other 2, but it was still up 59%. So if you want to see where they are today, here's what we're looking at right now. And kind of indicative of how it was in the beginning, right? The Tyranitar had the biggest original growth, and the Typhlosion had the least growth in the beginning. That has held true all the way till now. And as you can see, the Tyranitar is still up an eye-watering 201%, even though it came down and now it's working its way back up. Same thing with the Mimikyu. It's up 32%, which might seem like a big dip from that high. But remember, this is a 3-month graph and it's only halfway full. We're talking about 6 or 7 weeks worth of price appreciation here, and it is up 32.58%. Anybody in the world would take a 32.58% growth over a 6 to 7 week period. And then you got the Typhlosion down there, which had the smallest initial growth on the first video and is actually down 1.13%. We'll call it directionally flat here, but still really cool cards, really awesome set, and you got those stamps on it. So we've talked about that. Now, coincidentally, the very next week, so on the 6/17 video, we had another Destined Rivals pre-release promo that was featured on it, and it was the Team Rocket's Tyranitar Destined Rivals staff one. That's the key difference here. This is the staff. If you wonder why this one was all the way up at $83, this has the staff stamp on it. Much rarer, much harder to find. And conversely, where we saw the original one, which was on the way up, this one was actually on the way down. And one of the things that I called out when we saw this card on here is, for me, I like the rarest variant of anything that there is out there. I don't collect Elite Trainer boxes. I only collect Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes. Like, if I have the option between getting, you know, a booster box with or without a box topper, I'm going to pay a premium if that's what I have to do to get the box topper. Like, that's just the way I operate. And as long as I've been collecting, that has always served me well, because the rarer versions always tend to outperform the non-rare versions. And so when we did this one, I had said, the week before we featured the regular ones, if it was me, if I was going to add this card to my collection, I would save a little bit longer and get the staff stamped promo, because in my mind, that really is going to serve us best in the long run. And spoiler alert, obviously, we're going to be talking about some of those cards today and seeing where they are in this very moment. But before we get into that, I got to give my selfish plug and just say, hey, listen, if you're enjoying this, if you're having fun, if you can stand this type of deep dive into things, hit that subscribe button or give us a thumbs up. Those 2 small things go a long way in helping my small channel out, and I really appreciate it. So as you would imagine, imagine we're going to be looking at where the price is today and look at what has happened after that original dip that we had seen where it was working its way down to $80. It is now up 50% versus where it originally started, up to an eye-watering $130 for this card. Now, is it going to be able to hold on to it? Who knows? But as we saw from the original regular stamped ones, right, without that staff stamp on there, those are still up 200%. We know Tyranitar has a strong history of leading sets and having really, really great cards. I mean, you can go obviously all the way back to the beginning of Pokemon, and Tyranitar has been one of the big names. So if anything can outperform for a long period of time, I think this one has the opportunity to do it. Now, the other staffed promo, which was on here, was the Misty's Gyarados. Misty is one of the most popular trainers out there. I absolutely love Misty, and then you got Gyarados on here right now, and again, this one is up to $167, up 89%. And think about what is going on in the Scarlet and Violet space as a whole, right? Most Scarlet and Violet cards have been working their way down. Now, I do think that we're starting to get into a space where some of them are starting to hit that buy signal. I did a whole video on 151 the other day. I think there's some cards in Sword and Shield that are starting to hit that buy signal. I'm not sure how much longer this, overall softness in the Scarlet and Violet space is going to last, but I tell you what isn't soft are these staff stamped promos from the Destined Rival pre-release. So for me, this is again just another really great lesson, because as we start thinking about these mega sets that are going to be coming out, we're going to have some big name Pokemon in there, and if any of their pre-releases are going to have staff stamps like this, maybe it's something I might look at getting in on early on, because I've already seen how well they can perform. Now, next one on the list is this regular Team Rocket Tyranitar, but guess what? This has the Pokemon Center stamp on it. Again, this just reaffirms the point. You got a big name card right here. Tyranitar, obviously, I've already said it. I'm not going to beat the dead horse anymore. Tyranitar, you got a big name. And then it's got the Pokemon Center exclusive stamp on it. We have seen time and time and time again that cards with that Pokemon Center stamp do really well. This one is up 130% over the last month. Obviously, these aren't the easiest ones to get a hands on. I know that whenever they became available on the Pokemon Center, people buy whatever they have to. They put anything in the cart in order to get the stamp promos, but can you blame them when the promo is going to end up being $69 right here, up 130% over the last month? I mean, does it really matter what you have to spend in order to get it? Because it's almost like you're getting the card for free, but you have $70 worth of upside. So really, really cool. I would not be surprised if we see another type of Pokemon Center stamped thing at some point in the Mega Series. So keep an eye out for that. I think it's an awesome opportunity to add a really cool card to the collection. Now, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. As I said, a lot of Scarlet and Violet cards have been working their way down, and there's only very few of them which seem to be hitting those support lines that I talk about so much on this channel. But when you look at this right here, I mean, this is the big card from the Scarlet and Violet era, right? The Umbreon, obviously, from Prismatic Evolutions, and over the last 6 months, this thing has just been working its way down. It's down 34.42%. But if you think that matters to me at all, if you think that deters me in terms of my long-term, kind of evaluation of Prismatic Evolutions, not in the least. I think this card came out way too hot, and I've shared that many, many times. This thing was going toe-to-toe with the Umbreon from his Evolving Skies, right? This thing was at Moonbreon level when it came out. Look at that. This thing was a $1,600 card 6 months ago. I just think it was way too early in the card's life cycle for it to be priced so high. So coming down to $1,000 doesn't do anything for me in terms of my, bull call on Prismatic Evolutions long run. I just think this is the normal leveling out, the normal market stabilization, and I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't continue to drop even further. When you think about it, yes, the pull rates for this card is really bad. It's about 1 in every 1,440 packs if memory serves me. But remember, that Moonbreon from Evolving Skies was 1 in every about 2,000 packs. I think it was 1 in every 1,990 packs. So that is a significantly lower pull rate. Plus, there's going to be a lot of Prismatic Evolutions printed. The Pokemon Company International has come out and said we're going to continue to print this. We don't even have all the products released yet, right? We got the premium figure collection, which is going to come out here in a couple months. So, I mean, there's just a lot of Prismatic Evolutions left to hit the market. There's going to be a lot of these awesome Umbreons that are ripped and that are offered for sale on the secondary market. So I wouldn't be surprised if this continues to come back down. I still think it's an awesome card, and I still think it's going to be one of the biggest in recent memory once all is said and done. But it's not just the Umbreon that's coming down. The Espeon, really, all of the evolutions are coming down from Prismatic Evolutions as well. So I didn't want to just talk about the big dog. I wanted to include Espeon in here as well. But really, Jolteon's been working its way down. Vaporeon's been working its way down. So a lot of them have been doing the same same thing. Again, super early in the life cycle for Prismatic Evolutions. These cards are still absolutely stunning. They are still incredibly hard to pull. When we're looking back 3-5 years from now, all of these cards are going to do just fine from a pricing perspective. So again, think about it. Look at, after all of this, it's only down 20.96% over the last 6 months. If you go back to the Sword and Shield era, cards used to go through the Pokemon pop and flop, and it was just natural. It made sense, right? A new set would come out, there'd be a lot of hype, people would pay way too much for the singles, but then as the booster boxes or ETBs or whatever was ripped and more singles hit the market, really for 6 to 8 months, we would see the prices of those cards come down, sometimes even longer. The Umbreon didn't even hit its lowest point till I think it was like 9 or 11 months after it first came out. So this is a normal life cycle for a card. We just haven't been living in a normal Pokemon world here for quite a while. So hopefully we're getting back to that. Hopefully Pokemon's going to solve this, supply and demand issue, and we'll start to see some of these prices come back down to a space where it's more approachable for everybody out there. So that's it. Those are the cards that we were talking about this week. Thank you to TCGPlayer for sending this list. I always find it super insightful. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have an epic rest of your Sunday. And if you did, listen, hit that subscribe button or give us a thumbs up. Those 2 small things go a long way in helping my small channel out, and I really appreciate it. Have a great one, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.